just exploded last season in the second half. I mean, I think he felt at ease in George Karl's system, and I think that's one reason why you're starting to see just how good Rudy Gay can be.
Conley with it. Here's Gasol. Can't get it to go. Nice D from Cousins. Conley against Gay. And Bellinelli kicks to Gay. The drive by Rondo. 6 on the shot clock. That's good from 17 feet away. First quarter, just over a minute played. The Grizzlies off to a slow start. It's a 5-point game. This game against Sacramento is the first time they've met this year.
And they didn't have much of a problem with these guys last season, and quite frankly, you wouldn't expect them to.
Yeah, you know, these are two teams clearly on opposite ends of the continuum in this conference. I mean, this is a team they rightly feel they can beat every time they take the court with them.
And they can up the ante a little bit there after that basket.
Yeah, you know, their lead's increasing, and they've got to be feeling better and better about the way this game is starting to play out now. So we'll see if they can close it out.
So timeout call here. But first for Memphis. The Kings were off to a hot start last year, but things certainly fell apart midway. A big factor in that was the messy firing of their coach, Mike Malone.
Yeah, really, that firing came out of nowhere to the fans and the players, and it seemed odd to fire a coach that has been leading his team to good basketball.
Now here's Gasol. 29 points for him last game against the Warriors in Oakland. Randall, and that one falls coming off Conley's feed.
And guys, I was a bit worried, but now we all know the rim doesn't have a lid on it.
Yeah, you could actually feel the tightness and tenseness with each miss. I'm actually glad to see they got that first one out of the way.
No good from Gay.
And, you know, we'll never really know the full details of why Malone was fired, but the effect it had on the team was easy to see. Kings really tailspinned out of control afterward.
Now here's Gasol. Jeff Green missing his last shot. Randolph's shot is good.
Assist goes to Mark Gasol.
For Sacramento, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Outside Rondo. Down low. Here's Cousins. Tries again. Rejected by Randolph. Allen outside. Here's Gasol. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Rudy Gay.
You know, the Kings, I think, will look back and realize they made a dubious decision the way they handled that coaching change. I mean, lucky for them, they were able to right things, so to speak, by landing George Karl later on. Clearly one of the better coaches in NBA history.
The Kings leading. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. To the paint. Green with the block. It's Allen with the drive. Right side Randolph. Conley with a wide open look. Buries the long-range jumper.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
They're really on their heels at this point.
Yeah, on both ends of the floor, Kevin. They've lost some confidence along the way.
Cousins against Randolph. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. Just 5 on the clock. Bellinelli dishes to Gay. Another miss by Gay. And for the Grizzlies, they're shooting 43% since taking the floor today. To the paint, and stolen by Cousins. Here's Rondo. 8 points his last outing. Pass to Cousins. Back to Rondo. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. There's the pass to Cousins. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
You love for any trip down the floor to end with a shot like that.
Conley against Rondo. Conley kicks to Gasol. Kept alive. Back to Conley. Randolph passes to Gasol. And the rejection by Cousins.
You know, he might want to think about deferring for a while. He's had his chances this quarter, but just not able to convert.
Gay, that's a two-pointer. And the shot falls short this time.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring. And former coach of the year, George Karl, making his way back into the league last season. Kings picked him up halfway through the year to kind of stabilize their coaching situation.
Sacramento calls timeout.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
You know, but they were able to hang in there for most of that game. But at the end, you know, when it matters most in terms of what I call winning time, they just could not make the plays on either end of the floor.
Yeah, I like that term, winning time. But as you said, they didn't get run over, but just couldn't convert when they needed to in the end.
Darren Collison. He's checked in for Rajon Rondo. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. For DeMarcus Cousins, his numbers have been flat out phenomenal. I mean, just incredible. Sometimes hidden by the lack of what's around him in Sacramento, especially, you know, Greg, when you compare last year's stats with other centers in the NBA.
Yeah, he's averaged nearly 5 points more per game than the next center. Top 3 in rebounding for all centers. This guy is the complete package down low.
Now here's Conley. An 11-point game for him in the win against Golden State.
You know, and in watching that game, he did a really nice job of passing the basketball, scoring, and setting up his teammates.
You know, guys, back to DeMarcus Cousins last season, he was top 3 for centers in assists and steals, and he was in the top 7 in block shots.
And talking about Cousins, he's a franchise talent. No one debates that. He can take over a game anytime he feels like it. And heaven help the NBA if he ever starts feeling like it over an 82-game year.
Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Sacramento. Ben McLemore comes in for Marco Bellinelli. Now here's Collison. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Clippers. Shot clock at 6. Sacramento needs to get off a shot. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Memphis leading. Now here's Conley. Here's Barnes. Rebound by DeMarcus Cousins.
Now, that's a very low percentage shot. Not good basketball at all. One he probably should have passed on.
A drive by Collison. Here's Cauley Stein. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Well, I tell you, the Grizzlies guys were really dominant in the first half of the season last year. But after the All-Star break, barely played above 500.
And Memphis would end up going 16 and 13 over the back half of last season. Down the stretch, they would only go 5 up and 5 down in their final 10.
Yeah, and Kevin, all those games so important as they jockeyed for position in the West. It was so fluid and volatile down the stretch. They could have been anywhere from a 2nd seed to a 6th on any given day, and they just happened to slump at the wrong time.
Now here's Chalmers. Pass to right, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Well, he's an undersized center, but he more than makes up for it with some serious leaping ability.
The Kings trailing. Outside Collison. Kicks it to Caspi. Plays it up and banks it in. Caspi's got his first points in this one.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Chalmers against Collison. Wright sets a screen for Lee. It's deflected. Outside Collison. Got it. Good job in the low post. And it's a 3-point Sacramento lead. The Grizzlies shooting 36% in this first quarter, trying to get their bearings. And Chalmers kicks to Green. Good.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Here's McLemore following the score by Memphis. Now Chalmers. Barnes with it. Picked up by Collison. The three from Chalmers. Sacramento grabs the miss. And here's McLemore. Pass to Collison. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. We've got 1:48 left in the first quarter of the game. Chalmers with it to the inside. Here's Wright. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. Clark, Brandon Wright was moving all over the league last year, all over the map, traded twice, once from Dallas to Boston, then again sent to Phoenix where he finished up the season.
Kevin, he was only with Boston for 8 games after the trade. He seemed to find a better home when he was with Phoenix.
And for Wright, being traded twice, he's one of those players that is so efficient, but in small doses. So really the ultimate bitch guy to come in and give you minutes in the post.
That's good.
Great awareness by Mario Chalmers on that feed.
The Kings have gone 7 of 15 from the field at this point. Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
You know, I think that will ultimately be Wright's role going forward, a great bench option. Despite all the trades, last year he was still extremely efficient as a scorer.
Vince Carter, he's checked in for Matt Barnes. Here's McLemore. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Clippers in Los Angeles.
And Kosta Koufos, an excellent rotation center. I mean, he gets after it on the inside. He'll give you some rebounds, can block some shots. He's made himself into a factor.
And Koufos not really a shooter, Clark. He does his damage around the rim.
Yeah, he really does. The former Buckeye is a great screen setter. He attacks the offensive glass, plays within himself, and knows his role, and he does it well.
Now, here's Chalmers. Carter outside. That's a 2 from Lee. That's in there. Carter with the assist. Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Collison against Chalmers. Outside Collison. Clock at 6. Down low. Cauley-Stein dishes to McLemore. Denied for the 3rd time. He's 0 for 3. Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Chalmers with it. Picked up by Collison. Green with the ball. Koufos is there. Green passes to Lee. It's hauled in by Collison.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off in time?
And now that we've gotten a chance to see it in slow-mo, I think the ruling has to be that he did not beat the buzzer with that shot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the replay center in Secaucus giving us the perfect angle, and he wasn't quick enough on his release, it would appear. That extra little split second made the difference.
And they've seen enough. The basket will not count. The quarter has come to an end before the shot.
Still important to have a second look at it, Kevin. I mean, the technology's available, so you might as well use it.
Absolutely. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. It's the Grizzlies up 1. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this.